What's your name?
Dan. Dan. And you?
Richard.
Richard?
And we're going to the island where these guys milled this wood by hand with chainsaws. Yeah. Yesterday we'd just come into this little anchorage in the reef islands of Vanuatu, and this boat full of local men came up to my boat and they said that they approached because my boat was so tiny, it wasn't even that much bigger than their panga, and they wanted to see who we were and what we were doing, and they asked if they could come aboard, and they were just fascinated at the idea that I had sailed to Vanuatu alone from the States. It's so far, and they sat down on the settees and they were amazed at how soft and comfortable they were, and then they asked if we wanted them to show us what they were doing, and so we jumped in their boat and they took us to this island nearby where they were milling wood to build a resort. So this Australian bought an island and wanted to build a resort on it, and they were just using chainsaws to mill this enormous tree. They said they'd spent 3 days on this tree, and they took us on a tour, gave us coconuts, and showed us a part of their life in exchange for us showing them a part of our life.
So how many people work for you?
Only one man.
One man?
Okay.
Okay.
But we take some employees.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So this is some of the wood that you mill?
that's some of the wood.
Cool. Can you explain how you guys mill it with the chainsaw, and what kind of wood do you use?
We cut the koyo.
Okay.
The koyo. Yeah, first thing we have to drop the koyo down. Then we cut it into 2 pieces. Then we take the measurement for the post. Then we mark the measurement. We take 5 by 5 and 4 meter. After that, we cut. This island have 3 villages. 3 villages, huh?
This one?
This one is 1 village.
Oh, okay.
We call it Siof. We have another one there, is Fulai, and one on the other side is Masayar.
We walked through the bush with the men in front of us with a machete cutting the vines until we came to a small clearing where a group of men were sat around waiting for the guys with the chainsaws cutting the trees so that they could haul the planks back to the boats where they took them to the island for the resort.
Sailing school.
Sailing school, my old job.
Round bond.
Yeah, that's where I started in the US.
That's the tree.
Wow.
That's the stump.
That's a huge tree.
Huge tree.
It's alive? No, dead.
Alive.
Alive. Okay.
We cut it for three times or 4 times?
3 days.
3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. I could see that.
We mill for 3 days.
It smells so good.
Smells so good, huh?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, take some to the boat.
Some of the smell.
So we cut it for 3 days.
Yeah.
Wow. And you only use those chainsaws.
Yes.
Wow. So cool.
How many of these you got on this island? Like lots?
What?
How many trees like this big? Because this is a big one, hey?
Yes.
You have enough on this island for that? What he wants? Or do you need to go to other
They
islands?
cut on another island.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Big island. Mainland.
Yeah,
Mainland.
okay. Lots more trees.
Ang bibaka tourist na kaya nga matutay.
You guys are strong.
Right, should we carry one for them or what? He's the boss?
The way they marked the logs was by using a piece of string that was wrapped around a twig and dipped into dirty oil. They then used that the same as we would use a chalk line to mark things. And they actually asked me if I had any dirty oil that I could give to them because they were starting to run out, and I told them maybe if I looked under my engine I might be able to find some, but unfortunately they weren't going back to that same site the next day, so I was unable to give them my dirty, oily bilge water, but it would have been really nice to finally see it going to a good home. After we'd watched them milling with the chainsaws for a while, our guide Richard took us a little bit deeper into the bush to a place where they had a copra plantation. He explained that the guys don't actually bring any of their own water. They collect rainwater as well for the village, so fresh water is always a limited resource. Instead, they have someone who goes with a stick and knocks coconuts off the trees and opens them, and this is how the men get all of their refreshments. So they showed us with a stick how they knock the coconuts off the trees and very expertly opened a few for us to sample.
Hey, whoa, nice. That's impressive.
That's how you're meant to do it, huh?
Need a helmet. Whoa.
Okay, clean for Oli and watch how we're gonna clean the coconuts. Come closer.
Oh, okay.
Here you are. Saya kelar puisi ya.
The tour guide's got to be in it too, eh?
Hey?
Yes.
We need the tour guide in the shot too.
Cool tour guide here. Right?
Very cool tour guide.
Best tour guide.
We help you, you help us. Go better, straw.
No, we don't need a straw.
Oh, we don't need a straw. Thank you so much. Amazing.
This one for you.
Ooh, thank you. Using the actual
Now just take the.
coconut
Yeah.
piece as a spoon.
That's yours. The spoon.
Ah, thank you, boss.
So cool. And now
Okay, like
we
this.
eat it.
That's good stuff.
That was good. We're cutting down a piece of bamboo for me to use as a tiller extension for my outboard. Here's the bamboo grove.
You want the one that tries or the green one?
Wow, that's so impressive.
I'm trying to learn.
You can't bring it home. It's too big for the boat.
On the boat, eh?
Go.
We went to go find some better trees in another part of the copra forest to harvest. Dan carried the long bamboo coconut pusher stick and decided that he wanted to try knocking the coconuts out of the trees as well.
Slowly, wait, slowly. Wait, strong. Wait.
Oh, you gotta leave.
Okay, go. Oh, wait. This one before you take it to the boat.
Oh, cool.
Watch him properly, eh? Come on.
Oh, I see. You make it very small, so it's just the part with the water.
Yeah. Oh, no?
Hey, are you?
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
We carried our gifts of coconut and bamboo pole back through the copra forest with us until we arrived at their boat, where they took us back to the Gek. The following day we upped anchor and moved the Gek to another anchorage. Some strong kite wind was coming in and we wanted to keep Gecko in a safe anchorage during the night but be close enough to the reef that we could go during the day to do our kiting. Okay, this is editing Holly here. Apologies for my cold, but there will be some narration with this voice because I put off editing this video and then I got sick. I did want to say, so in exchange for these guys taking us and taking time out of their day to show us their chainsawing stuff and the coconut gifts that they gave us, we asked what they wanted or needed, and they told us some things that we had. We gave them some t-shirts. They asked for sunglasses, but unfortunately I didn't have any spare ones. But if I do ever go back to countries like that, I'm definitely buying a bunch of sunnies to give out because it seems like everyone wants them. But there was an exchange that happened that I just didn't film, and Dad and I baked them cookies, so when they were all leaving in their boats at the end of the day, we hailed them down and gave them cookies as a little treat on the way back, but that remained unfilmed anyway, as you were. So as you guys know, I've been turning off my engine. I've been turning on and off my engine. I've been turning on and off my engine using the fuel thing instead of the correct key because the wire from the stop solenoid somehow got disconnected. So today is finally the day. I won't tell you how long I have put this off for. Less than 3 months, I think. So I have this wire, and I'm just gonna check that the length is right, but I'm basically just gonna rerun the wire from the stop solenoid to the ignition key, and then it should theoretically work. We will test this, of course, before we try to use it with our handy little voltmeter, but I'm pretty sure that it's just a plug-and-play situation. So I have this old wire that is labeled solar panels, so I'm guessing it came off my solar panels, and I'm just going to repurpose it. So I'll cut it open and just pull the black line out of here, and also I found a new fuse, which is exciting. And yeah, just run this thing. Pretty simple, hopefully. And then put the alternator back on, but first we have to find the belt.
In the hole.
Patrol the hole! Whoa. It's very approximate. So much stuff for my hair to get it caught on. Yeah, I think it'll be long enough. Okay, we're in. Actually, maybe I can just pull it out through here. That might be the easiest. Pre-hold. Alright, then I just need... I'll terminate the one end first with a spade connector and then run it through before I terminate the other end with another spade connector. Go to the back of this boy. Alright. So right now, because we only need to use the black wire, we're just pulling it out of the jacket. And we'll leave the red wire because I'm sure I can use that for something else. So Dan's just lightly scoring the jacket with the knife and then pulling the black wire out of it. Ideally you'd use a razor blade, which I used to have, but no longer can find.
It's just not quite on it, it's a little teary bit. Then okay.
Yeah. And then I'm taking this end and I'm gonna put the spade connector on it. And I was only able to find 2 of these, so I really can't mess it up. So otherwise, we're in jury rig land.
She's away.
Nice.
It just wasn't in the... It's so satisfying, eh?
It is.
When you get in the roll.
Alright, this side is done, so what I'm going to do once the black wire is free is connect this up to the stop solenoid, not terminate the other end until I run it all the way through everything and put it onto the back of the ignition switch. Also, I need the diagram of the ignition switch so that I know where to put the wire. This is my ignition switch diagram, and I need the stop solenoid, which is 58, which is this one here, so that's where I'll connect that wire up to once it's run. Okay, this is the stop solenoid here, and this is the wire, the old wire running from it. So I'm just gonna take this off. I should put some WD-40 on that, actually. That contact is actually a bit corroded, so it's good to replace it anyway. And who knows how old this wire is, so I'm not sad about replacing the whole thing. This wire run is very confusing because it goes up through here and then into here to there. So what I've decided to do is to not try to trace the run, which I know is the right thing to do, and instead just cut it off and start over. In the hole. In the hole, the mighty hole.
The holly works along the way, one boy.
In the hole, the mighty hole.
Confident, zip time before even testing.
Yeah, well, if this doesn't work, we're fucked.
Backup plan, stick with the original plan.
Yeah. Alright.
Is it true that you practice snipping wires by castrating your brother at a young age?
I will not comment.
What's going on, doll?
So I could only find 2 of these spade connectors, and this one is the wrong size. It's too big. It's for a bigger gauged wire. So what I'm going to do is cut this extra long and then fold it in half so that it's fatter and it fits in here, and then when I crimp it, the crimp stays on, so otherwise I think it'll slide off. And this is the last one I have, so I cannot afford to make a mistake.
Concentration face.
Oh, I'm using the blue squeezer on the yellow. I should use the yellow squeezer.
Rookie.
Uh-oh, too late. I'm committed.
Commit.
The oh shit lever is stuck. Ah! Well, that's not going anywhere.
That's definitely not coming off.
Alright. Alright, engine's on and has been running for a bit, so now I'm going to see if the key works to turn it off.
Sick.
Nice.
That's fun.
She works. It's a windy, squally day, and Dan and I have anchored Gecko in just the protection of the reef so that we have full wind. It's blowing 20 to 25, and we're just kiting all day long. We went into the mangroves to launch the kite on shore because it's a bit tricky launching it on my boat since my boat is tiny. There's a ton of shit hanging off the back. And then I put a line behind my boat, and we're hanging the kite on the line and swapping out between the two of us, half hour each, coming in, having some tea, having some lunch in between. It's a really gusty day. Sometimes we're totally overpowered, sometimes a bit underpowered, but it's really fun, and it's nice to have something to do when you're weathered in with a storm, to actually be able to go play. As soon as we're done here today, we're gonna go anchor up for the night in the lee of one of the islands behind the boat, but this is the perfect spot to be for a day anchorage, to be right in the teeth of the gale. And tomorrow it should be similar amount of wind, so hopefully another awesome day of kiting will be had by all. So we just moved back to the protected anchorage, and I think it's probably blowing harder in here than it was where we were before, because it's a tiny little, yeah, it's a funnel. We just stayed in our wetsuits for the sail back because it's windy. I was trying to dry my towel, but I think if I wring it out before I use it, maybe. Good thing I only have one. This is day 2 of kiting weather. Everything is drying. Dan has migrated onto the full Parmesan wetsuit. And these are, it's not raining anymore, so we have everything hung up that we wore yesterday just to try to dry it slightly before we get going again. So we're gonna up anchor, leave this anchorage, and head out to the other one where we were yesterday to start the whole process over again.
to everything that we want. But if we take a moment to get closer, closer to the things we love, it's not a long way to the spot where we already are. Stay here under the palm trees, or won't you lay here with me?
It's just a stunning day today compared to yesterday, which was just, I mean, shitty weather but awesome kiting, so I'm really happy.
Baby, there's no plan for the wicked. There is no goal for the longing heart. Just another day to be with you. When everything ends, it's a brand new start. Baby, there's no plan for the wicked. Darker are the days for the bitter ones. Baby, I'm just happy to be with you. In our kingdom, kings fall dropping like little flies. There's a price to pay to getting the things we want. But if we take a moment to get close,
69% battery.
we wouldn't need that, looking at the things we have. Stay here under the palm trees. Won't you lay here with me? Baby, there's no plan for the wicked. There is no goal for the longing heart. Just another day to be with you. When
to an end, so it's time for us to start heading back north to get to Luganville, where Uhuru has been on the mooring, looked after by Jin. So our first stop is Crab, which is about a 30-mile sail north of here. It's one that we've been to before. Really beautiful, reefy entrance, gorgeous pass that we want to free dive again. So we're taking off now. It's 10 o'clock. Good wind out there, so I'm hoping we'll average 5 knots. You never know with the Gek, but I have a good feeling about it. And we'll stay there all day tomorrow, do some swimming, maybe try to find some lobsters, and then the next day do the 40-mile sail up to Luganville. Okay, we're on our course heading towards Crab. It was a little bit of a rough start. A squall that kind of couldn't decide if it was going to give us wind or not, so it was sort of head sail up, head sail down, motor on, motor off. One of those times, and you do everything about 3 times in a row, and then you get sick of doing it, and then you get angry at the weather, and then it finally kind of chilled out. And now we're sailing with 2 reefs in the main and the full jib, because there's some pretty big squalls and nasty gusts that come through and round us up and overpower us. But we're doing pretty well. I think about 5 knots, I would say, with the wind on the quarter. Dan made roti and tuna mayo for lunch, which has been messily devoured mostly all at this point, and we have a thermos of tea going pretty steadily throughout the day. We just keep topping it up with whatever.
What they want to hear.
We're sailing in the pass of Crab. I'm using the satellite charts because Navionics isn't 100% accurate, so that's kind of what I'm following there. That's little Passeruni, and probably gonna have to put the engine on in a bit here because we're about to get in the lee of the land, but I think it's always fun to try to sail as much as you humanly can, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, there go the sails. So we're basically out of all freshies, and we're starting to make all of our meals from canned things and dried things, and we've been sailing all day. We just got in to have a nice sunset. So Dan, the chef man, we'll cut that bit out.
That's not allowed in. Yeah.
No, that's not going.
Cut.
Cut. So Dan is making us a simple meal of canned and dried things, but super tasty, I'm sure.
And garlic. Garlic that's on. What have we got going on? Well, we rehydrated some soybeans, put a can of mushrooms together, and a bit of garlic, because garlic lasts forever, and then we got our chilies and oil, put chili oil in. Got some canned tomatoes for tomato sauce. Yeah, just a bit of protein, bit of veg, maybe add some canned peas. And then because we're low on water, we just use salt water and the canned juices to boil the pasta. Make a pasta dish.
There she blows.
The piece de resistance.
Delicious. Yes. It is amazing the things you can whip up from cans.
Cans alone.
Cans
the
alone.
soy's a cool thing.
The soy is dried. Yeah. Dried soy protein. Very cool thing to have on board. All you need to do is just rehydrate it. And then garlic rarely goes bad before you eat it all. Thanks for watching this week's video. I put out new videos every 2 weeks on YouTube, and for my patrons, you guys get a snack on the weeks I don't put out a full-length YouTube video. Thank you, Tish, for helping remind me of when I need to do another edit. Not thank you, Holly, this week for putting it off so long, the editing bit, that is. Thank you guys for your amazing comments. If you'd like to become a patron, my Patreon is patreon.com/windhippie. For one-time donations, I have a PayPal, paypal.me/windhippie. And merchandise, all of this in links below. Thank you for all the love that you showed to Olivia when I introduced you guys to her last video. She really appreciates all of that, and it's really nice to see you guys giving that to another solo sailor. Very cool, exciting stuff. Gonna keep it short and sweet this week because my voice is annoying myself, so it must be annoying you guys. I will see you next week, patrons, with a little snack, and YouTubies, I will see you in 2 weeks with another full-length episode. Bye!